Hello, and welcome back to another episode of Howdy's Hull. Yeah, Hangout. We have lots of stuff to talk about from Raw. The draft night 2 happened. There was some teases that happened during matches and during the broadcast. So we are going to go in depth on those, and we're going to talk about some of the stuff that's happening in wrestling because why not? It's good to be back right here on Give Me a Hull. Yeah, it's good to be back with you guys. Thank you so much for your support. Thank you so much for being here. We'll see you in a second. All right, everybody. So we are going to get right into it. Starting us off, there was some teases. Oh, there were some teases. Where? I should really know this, shouldn't I? There was some teases that started off on the Xavier Woods and Gunther match. So there was this glitch you can see there with Gunther, and there was also within that you only saw it for like 0.5 of a second, but there was this road. Now this was something we saw on the WWE TikTok, and this was something we saw on last week as well on the videos of SmackDown. But it's interesting that these stills came up as obviously going somewhere, traveling to somewhere. You know, this comes up later on. This comes up in the glitch in the QR code. So we're going to talk about that. So not only that did that happen once again there, we also had a QR code that flashed up during the Dudley Boys entrance. That QR code is there for your interest. And we also have a video. Okay. So we'll play that for you now. So the QR code happened during the Dudley Boys entrance. And I thought that was pretty cool. I was very, very surprised that we got a QR code again because of the draft, because of how busy it is for WWE. But we did get the QR code, and then we got this video, which I will play for you now. So yeah, I thought that was fantastic. I'll take the QR code off now. So very, very interesting that video was played. That looks to me like the Wyatt compound. I asked that question here to you guys. Is that the Wyatt house? That reminds me of very much the early Bray promos where Luke Harper was there, Eric Rowan was there. They were in this house, and it looks very similar to the old Wyatt compound. Interesting that as well, the video URL, which has been a consistent clue, the URL for the videos is eleftheria, which means a common female. It's a common female Greek name that means free. So a female Greek name, which could mean potentially Alexa Bliss. Somebody on Twitter also said that they found a very short clip of a female figure in the video somewhere. So particularly interesting that this could be signaling not only the return of Uncle Howdy, but also the return of Alexa Bliss with that cool name, eleftheria there. So we've covered the glitches. There's also another one. There was the bird as well. The bird did show up, a bird glitch. So alongside this one, we also got a bird at some point during Raw as well. That bird it seems to be a constant theme. Again, that sort of birth, regrowth, redevelopment. seems to be a constant theme. So, and again, there is the definition, the Chat GPT definition of eleftheria, which was the URL of the video. Okay, so I'll read that through. Eleftheria is a Greek word that translates to freedom or liberty in English. It is the concept that holds significant importance in Greek history, culture, and philosophy. Eleftheria represents the idea of independence, autonomy, and right to self-determination. Through Greece's history, the pursuit of eleftheria has been central to various movements for liberation, including the Greek War of Independence against Ottoman Empire in the 19th century. Today, eleftheria remains a fundamental value and aspiration of Greek society. So, particularly interesting there. I should get that banner off as well, shouldn't I? Let me take that banner off so I can read the rest of it. Today, eleftheria remains a fundamental value and aspiration in Greek society, symbolizing the desire for freedom and the defense of democratic principles. So that's particularly interesting there. Once again, I will ask that question, is that the White House? Because I think that's particularly interesting. Like, that house was very, very reminiscent of that. We also got the source code for the video. So the source code for the video says omnis, finis, principio. All right, and that I do have a definition for as well. Yeah, so that translates to every end is a beginning. So that reminds me of a circle. I know that Jody commented on Twitter on that as well. So yeah, so that to me seems like a circle thing, again hinting at Bray's legacy, hinting at the return of Uncle Howdy and the kind of continuation of this story. We've got some comments in. Hey man, how you doing? Nice to see you. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I quite liked it. I thought it was one of the better videos that they've done since the return. Of course, there was also the this question: do you want to meet him, drown in his glory? A couple of people humorously on Twitter were saying that that was to do with Keith Lee. Drown in his glory instead of bask. Do you want to meet him again? Sort of alludes to the potential of Uncle Howdy there, the return of Uncle Howdy. And I thought that was really, really cool. Where is the car driving? So the idea of this car, potentially driving to the, to this Wyatt house, this creepy house. Is that where we're going? Are we going to see this reveal? Much like we saw when Bray came back at first, are we going to see this, where the fun house was there? It was all kind of decrepit and broken up. Are we going to see this fun house? Not fun house reveal, this old school Wyatt family house reveal. Some people are saying Backlash. I do not agree that it's going to happen at Backlash. I think it will happen at SummerSlam or something bigger. I mean, I'd welcome the Backlash. I'd welcome it to happen there. You could argue Backlash in France is a bit of a B show and not necessarily where you want a big angle like that to play out, but I guess they need some international coverage. So potentially we could see that happen at Backlash. We could see that arrival. You're doing a really good job at breaking this down. Thanks, man. I'm having a lot of fun with these. I know that obviously there are breakdowns out there, but people tend to click on this afterwards, or they'll come and join us for a little bit. And I love that, man. I love this community, and thank you so much. It's been nice to come back here and to talk to you guys about something that makes me happy. And I've become a fan again. I still, have fallen out with love of certain aspects of wrestling, certain aspects of, some of the media side maybe, but it's certainly nice to be a fan again and enjoy this stuff. Really, really like it. There's also another bit of, so yeah, there you go. So omnis, finis, principio, again, according to ChatGPT, is a Latin phrase translating to every end is a beginning. So again, that definition is there for you. Let's look at every ending as a beginning. Suggests every conclusion or termination marks the start of something new. It implies a cyclical nature, so a circle of beginnings and endings, emphasizing the continuous cycle of life, renewal, and opportunity. So there you go. Again, very, very thematic and very reminiscent of what Bray was doing, which I thought was really cool. When did the Fiend debut? Wasn't it a B show? Extreme Rules rings a bell. No, so the Fiend debuted at SummerSlam. Extreme Rules was when Bray came back. Yeah. But I'm not usually knowledgeable about Bray Wyatt. Yeah, so the Fiend would debut at SummerSlam, but Bray came back at Extreme Rules. And I guess, uh, it's if it's a faction, I feel like it's something that would come out at SummerSlam. If it's going to be Alexa Bliss, if it's going to be Uncle Howdy, Eric Rowan, Braun Strowman, maybe we just saw Braun back on Raw, which I'll talk about in a second. So I think if we're going to get a big faction reveal, then SummerSlam is the best place to do that. If we're going to get, if we're just going to get Uncle Howdy, which I don't think we're doing, I think Backlash is fine. It's the first big pay per view in France, right? So, I suppose there's no better time to do it unless it's SummerSlam, which I would like to hope for, but that is a while away. It's August, right? So actually, now that I think about it, is that too long to keep these teases going? Would they burn out? Would they not become as interesting if we kept it to SummerSlam? If it was August. Okay, so those are the clues that I've got. Once again, we'll recap. So there was the QR code. If you wanted to see it, that led to so that was the glitch. Okay, the first glitch was the Gunther match. And then we had the QR code when the Dudley boys were coming out. This type of gimmick, you don't establish a faction all at once. Howdy isn't established enough yet to lead a faction. You skip half the story of who's in the faction. What you mean if you mean that you want to elongate it, you want to keep it going, basically. So over a period of months, you unleash different members. So are we getting like Braun Strowman on Raw, and then maybe an Eric Rowan in a couple of weeks at Backlash? And then it kind of it keeps going to SummerSlam. Maybe starting at Backlash. You only have Howdy show up at the start. Okay, all right. So you have him show up at the start instead of the end. Okay. So the reveal is kind of still at SummerSlam, but the faction develops. I see what you're saying. I like that. Thank you, Anthony. Yeah. So we'll recap quickly here. Once again, QR code there leading to the video, which I will play for you again, and then we'll talk about Braun Strowman coming back and a couple of other things that I'm digging in wrestling at the moment. So we'll play the video for you first. Okay.
Down into the swamp without a sound.
Very cool. So I just want to alert you to a couple of other things that were in there actually on second watch. You had the door is open. Obviously, the door, that seems to be a theme for a bunch of the teases, an opening of a door. Like there's a sort of a cupboard door in the first few clips. Obviously, that door now. And one of the last things Bray said in one of his promos, which Howdy was in, the weather promo, where Howdy says, "I am all of us." Bray says, "Who opened the door?" So again, that's an interesting thing. What's going to come out of that door? Because that was a big point of where Bray was going with the story. When the faction is on the verge of being beat, you bring someone new in. Yeah. There's a WWE trope, isn't it? It's something they've done. So again, you could have, and I guess that's what they did with the Wyatt family, and they did that with Braun, didn't they? They started with Bray, Luke Harper, and Eric Rowan, and then they had Braun come in as well, and then other members popped in and out, Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton, etc. Yeah, so interesting, good points there. So just so that sort of the door is open is interesting. Again, that bird flashing up, which again is such an important part of that rebirth new beginning, and that's where we talk about. There's a couple of things here. So again, that source code, which is translates to as every end is a new beginning. Once again, I'll pull that up for you guys. I think it's that one. Yeah, so there's the source code and there's the definition. So there is the source code there, definition there. The URL for the video it was eleftheria, which is here. So again, that definition there, freedom, tied as well to women in Greece. That word. So again, that could represent Alexa Bliss. But yeah, the idea of freedom and liberation, independence. Again, all themes that these videos are kind of leaning towards. Kind of breaking free, and kind of leading to a new beginning, which is obviously a big part of the Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy lore and story that we seem to be continuing on with. I also want to talk about Braun Strowman. Braun Strowman returned on Raw. Now, a lot of people are, of course, interested in this because he was draftable. He is, of course, a original member, or one of the, well, he wasn't an original member, but he was a member of the Wyatt family. And so particularly interesting is that hinting at perhaps something coming. More people coming, more people showing up to support what Uncle Howdy is doing, and also Bray's legacy. So, what do you guys think of? What do you guys think of that? Braun Strowman coming back. It's a big deal, of course. He's a big guy, former multiple-time WWE champion. Sorry, the dog wants to get involved. Yeah, he's a multiple-time WWE champion. Very, very important figure in modern WWE. Some might say he eclipsed the Wyatt family in terms of fame and notoriety. I guess he was a big name, and obviously him being a part of Raw now will always be linked. He will always be linked back to the Wyatt family. But this seems like a very, very strong re-debut for him. I think he went after Logan Paul, didn't he? So again, we could get something where Logan Paul and his goons are beating down Braun Strowman, maybe somewhere down the line. And then, Uncle Howdy comes out to save Braun. That's just me doing some fantasy booking there. I'm not entirely sure that is what would happen. But yes, interesting enough that Braun Strowman was brought back on Raw. He was draftable. And, one of the earliest members of the Wyatt family is very much present, very much available for storylines at the moment, although he seems to, again, have been embroiled into something with Logan Paul and Jey Uso. But yeah, Braun's back, baby, which can only mean at some point we get him involved in what's going on, not necessarily right away, but I'm happy to see Braun back, and if that signals something else, then that's fantastic. A couple of other notes: Nightbird was played at Raw. I can't obviously show that because we had a copyright strike the first time we did it. There was some audio glitches, some people said on social media, which harkened back to Feed Your Head and the Bray Wyatt stuff. One of the audio glitches was Feed Your Head. I think one of them happened at commentary, and then another one happened around the CM Punk Drew McIntyre stuff. But your fantasy booking is great, and again shows the development of a faction. Great storytelling. Yeah, I think this is really interesting. I'm not entirely sure it's for everyone, of course. I know we had that was the original conversation and challenge around Bray Wyatt's return. We don't know if this is going to be for everyone, but I'm really enjoying it, and I love my spooky stuff. Talking about that, we've got some other cool stuff that happened in wrestling, which I'll get to in a minute. I also want to address the fact that Ilya Dragunov was drafted to Raw. Now, Ilya Dragunov is a great get, one of my favorite wrestlers of the modern era. We actually did an interview with him on WrestleSphere as well, if anybody wants to go check that out. But yes, Ilya Dragunov drafted to Raw is a great pick. He's got a very unique energy, very unique drive and passion. Just undeniable, as Cody Rhodes would say. So I'm particularly interested to see what they do with Ilya Dragunov on the roster now that Triple H is in charge. Obviously, Triple H is a huge fan of NXT and a huge fan of those guys, and not necessarily someone who's just going to let him, go to the foreign gimmick or something that Vince McMahon might have done, So yeah, very, very excited to see that. Tom Talks Rubbish, nice to see you, and love Ilya, and excited to see him in the hands of Triple H moving forward. Absolutely, yes, Ilya, you interviewed him actually. Andy Spores interviewed Ilya Dragunov for WrestleSphere, so go and check that out if you have a second. Ilya joining the ranks of WWE Raw, and we are all very excited. And maybe we'll see, obviously Ilya's got a lot of love alongside Gunther in Europe. Maybe we'll see something in France, this coming few days. Ilya Dragunov's a very popular talent across the world, not just in America now. So yeah, it'd be wonderful to see if they do something with him as soon as Backlash. Thank you all for your comments, Tom. Great to see you as well. So yes, that is one of my big moments to come out of Raw. I also want to touch on something that I've caught on social media, and I've started watching now. Another guy I've worked with quite a lot is Lio Rush. Now, Lio Rush has debuted on the Indies a darker character. This is called the Blackheart Lio Rush. Now, this might look a certain way to you, but there's some really intriguing clips going around on Twitter, and I've got some to share with you. But for anybody who's into The Fiend and Bray Wyatt and Uncle Howdy and all that, who's looking for something to watch on the Indies, this seems really cool. I shared a video of another talent in TNA, Jonathan Gresham, who's doing some spooky stuff. And I thought that was really cool, the things he's doing. But this is what Lio Rush is doing now. Let's see. I've got some clips for you. Right, so this is one.
Hart saw it coming. Jaden wisely escaping to the outside.
What in tarnation?
The animalistic Blackheart Lio Rush.
So check that out. Lio Rush doing some kind of weird. What's that film with? Is it Unbreakable with Bruce Willis and loads of anyway? So like this demonic presence of Lio Rush. Check this out. I've never seen. I'd shot this out on Twitter and I was like, this is amazing because I've interviewed Lio Rush. He's obviously a star in most indies, and but I'd never seen this side of him. I'm just going to play you that again. Then I've got another quick video, and then we'll recap what we've talked about around the Uncle Howdy.
Hart saw it coming. Jaden wisely escaping to the outside.
What in tarnation?
The animalistic Blackheart Lio Rush.
How cool is that? Just going to get this biggest up for Ilya is tease the rivalry between himself and Gunther, entice people to watch their matches from NXT UK. I think that's what, they did. They did touch on that on Raw, actually. Really interesting, Sporsy. Yeah, they did touch on that. The backstage interviewer mentioned Gunther and Ilya kind of perked up. He smiled and he destiny was, I think, the word that he used there, Sporsy. So I think they're destined to meet up again somewhere down the line. Very, very cool. Leo the Moth Rush. Yeah, that was the thing. I think he was doing something else, right? He did the Moth first, but then this was the other thing that popped up, and I thought this was cool. This is slightly longer, so I hope we get away with this one too.
That black heart, that necklace he was wearing to the ring.
Perhaps the source of his
What's
power. He's drinking
oh!
a black viscous goop.
Ugh. Okay. Oh, good Lord.
He likes it, Brian Zane. He is literally feeding off of it here.
He brought it with him. He better like it.
And Jaden, rightfully so, is terrified. He had a hell of a poker face. When the bell rang, that's gone. But Jaden, ever resilient, he will do this all day.
He just threw his whole weight behind that kick, and it barely even phased Lio Rush. Oh, my.
Lio Rush is still standing.
Whatever he just drank, that was the secret stuff.
Plus, Ultra Driver.
That's got to be it now, right?
Whoa! Lio Rush kicked out at 1. Lio Rush kicked out of the Plus Ultra Driver at 1. Are you kidding me?
Jaden, my friend, it's time to run.
Yes, I thought that was pretty cool. Really, Yes, yes, Black Sambuca. But yeah, no, I saw it on Twitter. I thought I'd bring it up here, just because we love our spooky stuff on this segment or show, whatever you want to call it. And I thought it was really interesting, especially with the Jonathan Gresham thing we talked about last week from TNA. But yeah, we'll recap now, then, guys, for those that sort of come in, what happened on Raw. So again, we are here to talk about. We're not just here to talk about Leo Rush and indie stuff, although I'm just using my platform to talk about stuff that I'm into. This is Howdy's Whole Year Hangout, after all. So we are going to recap. We had the QR code at first. So we had the glitch first. There was also the bird as well that showed up a little bit later on. So that was during the Gunther and Xavier Woods match. That glitch led to these clips of all these sort of stills of the road. Again, so the idea that someone's driving somewhere, and that led to later on there was a QR code that flashed up just around the Dudley Boys entrance. I did play that video. I've played it a couple of times, so go back and watch that if you are interested. There are numerous teases to sort of Uncle Howdy and some of the Bray Wyatt lore. The door is now open, for example. And also, interestingly enough, I'm not entirely sure where the sort of particular stuff was being said around what was it now? I'm gonna have to play it again, aren't I? Oh, bathing his drown in his glory. Thank you. Yeah, drown in his glory. I did have that on a banner to pronounce. There you go. Look, this is it. Do you want to meet him and then drown in his glory? So do you want to meet him? To me, implies Uncle Howdy. Drown in his glory. Not sure about that at all. But very interesting. But that was on the video. Again, go back and check that out if you haven't seen it. The other question is, where is the car driving? Is it leading to a Wyatt house? The Wyatt house, which is what we see in the video. In my opinion, it's certainly kind of alluding to the potential of the Wyatt house or the Wyatt compound. That's what it looks like in the video. The video is there. So yeah, I tell you what, there's been a couple. You know what? There's a couple more people in here. We'll play the video one more time and see if we can spot anything else. I know that Spalsy and Anthony are in here, so if you've been here and you've seen me watch it and I've missed anything, let me know. We'll watch it one more time while we're rounding up. All right. Previous videos, potentially an Uncle Howdy type figure there. In one of the very brief glitches, again potentially Alexa Bliss in there as well. So some teases. The bird again. The rabbit was also there. The alive rabbit. There was also a dead one in one of the first teasers. There was a dead rabbit, but then there was a rabbit shown very much alive. So again, kind of reincarnation or redevelopment. As redevelopment, reincarnation, redevelopment, new beginning. There you go, and that is reinforced in the URL for the video. Eleftheria, the definition I have here for you. Is that it? Yeah, there you go. Definition is there for those that missed it. Again, to summarize, independence, autonomy, liberty, freedom. Ideas there. The source code for the video revealed this phrase, omnis, finis, principio, which again translates, thank you to ChatGPT and Twitter. Again, every end is a beginning, which again fits that circle narrative that Bray Wyatt was painting towards the end of his time in that second run. So very, very interesting stuff here. Once again, the QR code there. If anybody wants to scan it and see this video on their own phones, feel free. We have recapped on Braun Strowman's return. Very happy to see that. Whether it hints to the return of the Wyatt Six or Uncle Howdy, Alex Bliss, whatever is, that's great if he's involved in that. But if not, just good to see Braun back as one of the first few members of the Wyatt family. Good to see him back in WWE, showcased in a prominent role. Currently about to smash up Logan Paul. Ilya Dragunov going to Raw as well. A great character. Very, very entertaining character as he is. Great to see Ilya Dragunov back. And we also touched on a new character for Leo Rush as well. So that has been, that has been Howdy's Whole Year Hangout. We don't always do these live. Sometimes they're pre-recorded. This has been a live one. Thank you to those who have joined. I will try and do as many of these live ones as is possible for you guys. If I've missed anything on this one, please let me know. Do keep me posted. And write down in the comments if I've missed anything, because I'd love to hear from you. Thank you so much. Find me on Twitter. Send me some stuff. Some comments. Let me know what you guys think about all this. And I will see you next time. I know that Anthony will be here, right here on Give Me a Whole Year for Wednesday Night Dynamite. Dan was on Monday Night Raw last night, so go and give him some love every Monday. Sam will be here on SmackDown, because I believe SmackDown is earlier because we're in France for the weekend for Backlash. So I believe SmackDown's earlier. So go and tune in, support Sam as well. And I will probably be back here on Friday, after Friday night, because there'll probably be some glitches. And I'm probably back here after Backlash, because there'll probably be some glitches. So you're going to get a bunch of me, whether it's live, I don't know, but you'll get a bunch of me for Howdy's Whole Year Hangout this week. Thank you so much for watching. It has been a pleasure. I hope you've enjoyed it. And I'll see you guys real soon. Bye. Whole year.